And now back with more Apollo Justice Dual Destinies. I keep forgetting that I'm not playing the first game anymore. Anyway, we're going to a space center to investigate stuff that happened in a trial earlier about Solomon Starbuck. So we're going to try and find a third party. So let's do the thing. In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. This one destroyed courtroom number 4. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries for being there when the bomb went off. Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber. Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. We managed to clear Miss Woods' name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Ted Tunate. Apollo is a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him. Yeah, poor guy. Being attacked by Tonate like that on top of all of his other injuries. Apollo's resting at the nearby Hickfield Clinic. Oh boy! I had some experience with that place myself. What an awful turn of events. Never thought he'd land in a hospital of all places. You must miss him too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody to tease? Don't worry, he's young. He'll heal quickly and be back before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Trucy look so down. You won the court case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating. All right! Enough of this, people! There's no time to be moping around. Dry those eyes, both of you! You're the only one who's crying. Technicalities! Look, we got work to do! We have to take over. Take over what? Apollo Space Center case, of course. No verdict's been reached, so there's still a chance. I agree with Athena. We should pick up with Mr. Starbuck's defense. We have to avenge our fallen comrade. He hasn't exactly fallen. He's still alive, you know. Good. Now that's settled. Let's get going. Come on, we gotta run. Wait, right now? We better not be running the whole way. There she goes. Better catch up. Better get your bike. Can you take care of the office? Sure thing, Daddy. Be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm just gonna take some cookies and fill up my magic panties for you. Or make some cookies. Trucy must be feeling better. Can always count on Athena to perk everybody up. That's one of the cool things. Oh, she's back. Don't mind me. I just forgot a few things. Wallet, phone, documents, my bag. Sounds like you forgot everything. Can always count on her for that, too. All right, you two. Let's be careful out there. See you in case 6-2, and I actually mean something. I'm sorry, I keep bringing it up. She's never gonna do anything. That said, I think sooner rather than later, there's gonna be a couple cameos. I think in the next case, which are gonna be nice. Actually, wait, no. I think one is this case is either in this case or 5-5, and then 5-6. So at least we get something good out of it. Anyway, so our client is one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous, even I've heard of him. That's right! He's a super famous astronaut who works at the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago. You seem to know quite a bit about it. I'm excited. No, when he starts yawning, you won't be. That was the longest sigh I've ever heard. And I was forcing this one. Apollo told me all about you. You're Phoenix Wright. Apollo's mentor, right? Yeah, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Mr. Wright and I got you covered. See, that's the part I like, is that I don't know if Phoenix or Apollo ever tag team, but I know that at least you can kind of alternate with where Athena goes as either the support or the main lawyer. So that is a nice touch. Oh, and you're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait! Don't I know you from somewhere? You mean, other than your trial? I don't think so. Well, I guess so. My mistake. Ugh. My memory isn't what it used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft. Man, he's seriously gotta stop depressing himself. Cheer up, Mr. Starbuck. Besides, the thing you said about entering the stratosphere, that just means we'd shine like shooting stars, right? Like shooting stars, huh? Did you know? You're right, why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what we're all put on this earth to do, right? To shine like stars? Guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Oh yeah! Here we go! 3, 2, 1. Gonna do the stratosphere and beyond. Yeah! I feel alive now. Go ahead, ask me anything you want. Is that really all it takes? I do like this version of Starbuck better than... Anyway. So you have no memory of the incident? God damn it! I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black as a clouded... and black and clouded as a dark nebula. Still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills like they said? Drugs. Legal drugs. Just like River City. It's true I developed a fear of space because of what happened. I was taking medication secretly every now and then, and then when my anxiety got bad. I think a fear of space is not something an astronaut could brag about, you know. That so-called Hat-One miracle? Must have been terrifying. But I'm still an astronaut at heart. Come what may. I never take drugs that might impede my performance just before a launch. A launch meant everything to me. There's more certain than the theory of relativity. Seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of the astronaut I know. But the tranquilizers were found in your system. Yeah, see? That's the thing, but I don't know why. I'm done for. If you didn't take them, then maybe somebody slipped them to you. Exactly! Well, that's what I thought. They must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could have gotten their hands on it. You're the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket? Yeah, that's gotta be it! I've been framed! I'll say, you even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Anything at all? Like the murder weapon? That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits. Staff who work on machinery a lot are given those special toolkits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose knife it is. As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago, right? Yeah, that's right. It was. It was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. What kind? Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control column. The heat shield came off as we were entering the atmosphere. I thought I was a goner. But I managed to make it somehow with the popsicles and ice packs from the freezer. No wonder they dubbed it the Hat One Miracle. It's a miracle you made it back. Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. The darkness just goes on and on forever, and ever, and ever, without end. I'm tempted to do the Sandlot reference. Forever! There's nobody else there. No one was coming to save me. I was all alone. All alone, with nothing to listen to but the sound of my own breathing and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go back into space. With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this? What? No way! Well, of course not. Even now, I want to go up into space so bad I can barely stand it. I want to shake off the Earth's gravity and escape velocity and spin around weightless! But you have to admit, it's pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a little... Man, why are you pushing him? I mean, I was afraid. Of course I was. I still am. But space is man's final frontier. An unknown world. The cosmic truth's out there just waiting for us somewhere. Cosmic truth, huh? I guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. No matter how afraid I am, I can manage. If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. One thing's for sure, his passion for space is undeniably the real deal. See, I like this guy when he's not depressed. Even if he was like mopey, but he didn't do the stupid sigh, it would be fine. The victim, Clay Terran, he was kind of your protege, wasn't he? Well, it wasn't a big exaggerated deal like master or apprentice, but Clay did think of me as a mentor. Mentor and a protege. What a combination they made. Ugh! With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and get back into space. But now... Clay must have been very encouraging, huh? Well, yeah, it's funny. Whenever I'd hear him shout, "You're fine!" I always got the feeling everything was going to be just fine. You're fine? Apollo says that all the time. I always feel encouraged too whenever I hear him shout it. Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. We used to come visit the Space Center a lot ever since they were high school kids. One day out of the blue, he even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hung around the Space Center so much, it's like they were part of staff. One time during Zero-G training, I started to panic a bit, and the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine!" over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. So I'm fine and you're fine were like their secret phrases, huh? Wish I could ask him more about Clay and their relationship now. Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder? Oh! I'm sorry. I can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down that ladder, so a way has to exist. From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. But that prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through barred windows. You're fine! Solomon Soul Starbuck is fine. Sorry, I ate a lot of food before I recorded this. Everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be alright. Huh? And Athena Seiss is fine. Come on. Come on, Mr. Wright, you too. Do I really have to? Phoenix Wright is fine. I can't hear you. Phoenix Wright is fine. We'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbuck. Believe in your own innocence and have faith in us. Paul believed in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I vow to make it back into space. All I need first is a not guilty verdict. Sure feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and then that we're fine. Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's get our investigation of the Space Center started pronto. Good idea. See, this is the part that I like about Athena, is that she has her moments of vulnerability, but she's almost like the first to either do something stupid or get everybody roused up and just doing fun stuff. Uh-oh. Speaking of characters, oh goody. Oh goody. This should be fun. So this next guy is basically Aristotle Means, but from space. And with an even more inflated sense of self-worth, if you can believe that. Wow, I was wondering what kind of place this would be. It almost looks like an amusement park of the future. Yeah, did you know they even let the public see their rockets up close? So check this out. Look at how brightly the Gyaxia logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. Really dig the stars and rocket motif. Gyaxia, huh? Is that the name of the Federal Space R&D program? Yeah, but why the strange acronym? I mean, what's the GYA supposed to mean? Galaxy? If that were it, the whole thing would be something like Galaxy Exploration Agency. Which, if you ask me, I would have abbreviated to GAXA or even Gaia. I guess so. Oh, I know. Maybe the person who came up with the name just really liked Y. This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu. Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility. It's a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race. Galactic scooter, full speed ahead! I want one of those if it wasn't such a death trap. Yikes! Who's this geezer and what does he want? Look upon me and look well. Behold the great power of space science. Pardon me, but you are... My glorious name is Yuri Cosmos. I am the director of the Cosmos Space Center, the center of the cosmos. And I'm going to clip every single time this guy talks, I swear. That was pretty groan-inducing. If this person is a Space Center director, that means... you were the first to discover Clay's body, weren't you? That is correct. I was honored to be the very first man in all of space and time to discover the body. But this talk of the incident, are you by any chance the space police? You can't tack the word space onto just anything, you know. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We're here to investigate his case. Oh, and we're Earth lawyers, by the way. I see. I've heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. I trust you are appropriately grateful. Go ahead, have at it. I can already tell he's going to be nothing but trouble. Don't let him hear you say that, or you'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professional and ask him what he found about the body, huh? So as director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically? Defend peace across the galaxy and promote space development in the country. No matter what obstacles stand in the way, we keep going for the sake of mankind. I believe I used the word specifically in my question. Attention all personnel! To your break stations! Prepare for break! Oh, I get it. You just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner. That is exactly right. Because I am an important man, my manner is important. Mr. Wright, this guy doesn't get sarcasm. Well, there's bound to be some people like that here in the boundlessness of space. What's that? You want to know what it is that makes me important? Very well, I will tell you. I was a central figure of the Hat One project. You may proceed to be appropriately impressed. Now go ahead, have at it. I might be more impressed if I knew what he did, specifically. Could you tell us more about the incidents from the other day? I refuse. What? Explaining is a job for common folk, not the director at the center of the cosmos. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the courtroom. Wait, so that means you're taking the stand tomorrow? That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind. I'm not sure if he really understands what being a witness is all about. Looks like he's the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Let's at least try to ask him things I might be willing to open up about. The Hat One was a rocket that was launched into space 7 years ago, correct? And despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home? I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well. I will impart to you the complete story of the Hat One project. Oh, thank you very much. Hat One's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid, and Mr. Starbuck was the pilot for that flight. Eventually, the Hat One reached its planned orbit, from where it launched the Hope probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the Hope probe began its long, lonely journey into the far reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the Hat One returned safely to Earth. That struggle with the incident was known as the Hat One miracle, right? Correct! And it truly was a miracle. And of course, they just had to turn that ordeal into a movie! As for the the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth but a few days ago. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before his murder. Regrettably, we've had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that occurred. But this puts our space development program ahead of other countries by several years. That's quite impressive. Guess this guy just isn't a loudmouth braggart after all. In the golden age of space development, our predecessors were successful in bringing a moon rock back. That is the greatest achievement in the history of this space center. The public fell in love with space and all of its glorious potential. A moon rock, huh? I remember that being big. Our endeavors with the moon rock will live in with our work with these asteroid samples. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams to the future upon mankind once again. This is my mission, as a man who stands at the center of the cosmos. You can tell I'm just getting a lot more ruffled as he's going, and I'm just like, Rrr! I hear there's a lot of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there. What? Bite your tongue! It's not for anything so base as money and politics. It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind, and all for my illustrious mission! With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight, but I won't hear it. I guess even the space program has to watch its budget. Tra-la-la, space budget. Aww. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Huh? I thought I'd better brush up for the case. Is that so? Well, I'll be on my way. As you can see, I am a very busy and very important man. Galactic Scooter, fire up the main engine, max battle speed, and engage! Zoom! That thing's just surprisingly fast. Guess we'd better get going, too. You bet! Let's make it so. Oh, yes, I love that reference. Boarding lounge. Cool. And trust me when I say this, I don't think I could do that voice for that long. Okay, so this is where Mr. Terran was murdered. Yeah, this is a lounge. Let's see. The diagram and the police made again. Okay. Right now we're in the main building here on the right side of the 3rd floor. Clay and Mr. Starbuck fled here from Launchpad 1 after the explosion. You there! No admittance without express permission! We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We've come to investigate. Sorry, no one gets in without permission, even the police superintendent. Can't have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me. So Detective Fulbright's here too? Yeah, he's in the Launchpad corridor. Go get clearance from him and we'll talk. Leave it to me. I'm great at getting intel out of that guy. Let's see, what trick should I use? I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid. So to get to Launchpad 1, you have to go through the door with the black mark on it. Oh, that one. Looks awfully familiar. Good eye there, boss. This is the door Clay and Mr. Starbuck used during their escape. Oh, that explains it. Fingerprint system's been deactivated, so I think we could just pass on through. Now come on, let's go! Detective Fulbright, in justice we trust! Okay, because I'm getting through this conversation and then we can get to the investigation bit. I see tape. So this is it, huh? Corridor the two of them used in their escape. Yep, it's the only thing connecting Launchpad 1 with the main building. I see police tape down at the other end. Guess we won't be looking at that Launchpad. After the explosions, the whole corridor must have filled with smoke. And the Launchpad itself was probably a sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for him. Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? Hey, I think that's him over there. What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? He seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor is a straight shot. Huh? Oh, it's you lawyer people! Welcome to the Space Center! Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? A little rocket sightseeing? We're here to investigate the scene, same as you. Do you have any intel and info to share? Boss, if he acts all reluctant to give us information, We hit him with the whatever shall we do, and he'll fall for it. Got it? Are we trying to catch the unruly family dog or something? Info on the case, huh? Alright, I'll gladly share some with you. Huh? What just happened? Detectives and lawyers seeking truth and justice side by side. I like it! Just take whatever you want from me, you info bandits! I'm in a generous mood today. I don't know. Something weird about Detective Fulbright today. Well, we need information, so let's run with it. If you say so. Detective Fulbright, could you give us some permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer and guard, and we can't get in. Whatever shall we do? That's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate to your heart's content. Take a week if you need. A month even. Shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men can use a mean neck rub. No, that's okay, but thanks. Definitely not the Fulbright I know. Detective Fulbright's acting shockingly sweet. It's kind of gross. Do you think he hit his head on something? Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives easier. You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incidents, weren't you? That's right! I was here on a security assignment. Police were required to secure rocket launches now? I didn't know that. Yes, well, you know us, to serve and protect. The explosions occurred while I was here on duty, so I started leading the evacuation. Seeming out a lot of details, but okay. Could you tell us more about what happened? Of course. A bomb went off on the second floor of the main building. Right after that, the one over in Launchpad 1 also blew sky high. So I immediately instructed the visitors and employees to evacuate to the shelter. The shelter? That's right. There's an evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. It's there for accidents and emergencies and the like. So where were you when the first bomb went off? I was on duty on the 4th floor. It's quite the madhouse, I tell you. The elevator wasn't working on account of the explosion, and the stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way. Then wasn't it impossible to get down there? No! We lowered an emergency ladder from the 4th floor window and escaped that way. Yeah, 4th floor. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't stable, but at least we reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look around for any other survivors. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too and headed there. Wow, what an ordeal. But climbing down an emergency ladder sounds kind of fun. Thank you for your answers, Detective. That were very helpful. Just a moment, I have some more information. But don't tell Prosecutor Blackwell, okay? Wow. Wait, he usually has you on a short lease, doesn't he? Well, never mind that. I thought you should know there was a witness. Oh. Could you tell us more about the witness? Sure thing! Witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through the window in the 3rd floor lounge. So she was looking into the crime scene from the outside? That's right! It was a matter of chance she saw something important. Not that I know exactly what she saw yet, though. Also, when you see who this witness is, you're just... oh dear. You don't? But that's the most important thing. Don't you worry, I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. She should still be here somewhere in the Space Center. You might even... yeah, we're gonna run into her and it's gonna suck. 4th floor employee, huh? Alright, thanks for the info. Gee, you sure are being cooperative. A little too cooperative, even. Yes, well... actually, something you can't talk about? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, never mind, don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. That was weird. What was that all about? Something's definitely going on, but I'm going to get it out of him next time I see him. Okay. Not so sure he'll talk about it, though. Well, we got permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge. Yay! Cool. I'll save it here. Investigation! Next episode, yeah. Question. Oh god, we're questioning him again. Oh dear.